As a dentist, do you feel burnt out, feeling like you have to be able to do everything? Administration, marketing, specialty procedures, staffing issues. You're not great at it. In this video, I'm going to tell you how to delegate and how to be more successful and less stressed. When I was doing my dental practice startup, and as I continue to have as a dental practice owner, the overwhelming feeling of all that you're responsible for. You have to do marketing, you have to do accounting, you have to be a business owner, you have to provide really high quality care to your patients, you have to deal with staffing issues, you have to deal with recruitment. All of these things that come up just pick at you all throughout the day until you're completely drained and exhausted and burnt out. When I was doing my dental practice startup, in the first year especially, I was feeling the weight of this. I remember going back to the office after putting my kids to bed and staying there till 1, 2 a.m. just answering emails about accounting issues or HR things that came up, and being consistently drained. By the time I actually got to having to lead my team and provide patient care, there really was nothing left, let alone by the time I got home to my family. I want to lay out in this video key strategies on how to delegate and how to free up time so that you can really get into what you're uniquely good at and what brings the most value to your business. The first key strategy is really identifying what drains you and what you're honestly just not that great at. For me in my practice, there's two stories. One for me as a clinical dentist and one for me as a business owner. The first story as a clinical dentist is realizing that what drained me the most was doing fillings. Now, I know that as a dentist, you think this is our bread and butter, this is what everyone should be doing and be great at. But for me, I felt like it was monotonous. I felt like I didn't enjoy it. It took a ton of time. It was very technique sensitive. So one of the things that I was able to do was outsource this procedure in my office. Now, I practice in a state where we have expanded function dental assistants and we have restorative hygienists. But by me giving up this thing that drained me and I was not great at, it freed up my time to do other procedures that I was uniquely gifted at and that I found more enjoyment and brought greater value to my practice. One of the things you have to accept is that by giving something up that drains you, it may not be as good as you at first, but in time, it will. And by giving up something that you don't like and freeing up time, all of a sudden, you're going to have more enjoyment and more growth opportunities. On the business owner side, one of the things that I found was I was trying to do everything. I was doing the marketing, I was doing the social media management, I was doing the HR, I was the office manager, all of these things that just took a ton of time. By me identifying key people in my life and building a network of people that were really gifted at these different skill sets, such as marketing, HR, I was able to all of a sudden free up a ton of my time and get much higher quality products out of these things that I was outsourcing in order to free me up to lead my team as opposed to be everything for everybody as a business owner. The second key strategy in learning how to delegate and destroying the myth of being able to do everything is really identifying what your unique ability is. Doubling down on what amazing value you bring to your practice and devoting much more time and attention to that is going to be huge. But if you don't ever sit down to take the time on deciding what it is your unique ability, then it's hard to implement this in the first place. For me in my practice, I found that my unique ability is my ability to lead my team and to cast vision and to perform certain specialty procedures. For me, doing more sleep apnea and TMJ disorders and more complex restorative treatment brings the greatest value to my patients, brings the greatest revenue to my practice, and brings me the greatest personal satisfaction. The third strategy is using referrals and your network to help you get higher quality products out of the things that you could be doing very mediocrely. As a general dentist, we oftentimes like to do every single procedure or do a lot of different procedures. The myth is that if I can do everything, then I'm going to bring in more and more clients and I can have a diversified treatment procedure that I can provide to people, therefore boost revenue. I can tell you that in my experience, this is not the case. Let me give you an example. In my time as a dentist in the military, we were constantly doing every single procedure. One of these was root canals. I felt pretty confident. I felt I was pretty good at them. But when push came to shove, it took me a lot of time. And I really wasn't confident. Like if this was my wife being treated, I really wouldn't want me doing it. By taking that procedure mix out of my practice and referring to a specialist, all of a sudden I gave the specialist more value by sending them more patients. And anytime that specialist needed something that I was uniquely good at, they were referring it back to me. I was doing more procedures that I loved, providing higher value to my patients, and not sucking a ton of time in my practice in a procedure mix that really brought no value to anyone, including myself. The fourth and really pivotal strategy to learning how to delegate and freeing up time and stress in your life is you really just have to do it. You have to trust your team, you have to give things up, and trust that it's going to go well. It starts with hiring well and having a team of A players. We'll go into more detail in other videos on how to hire wonderful staff and keep them, but you'll never know how great your team is until you give them the ability to be trusted. And when you give things up and put them on their plate as opposed to yours, you've freed up time, you've given them responsibility that now they get to own and run with, and all of a sudden, it's this symbiotic relationship where you and your team are all providing value in different ways, and everyone loves what they do. You can go even deeper to delegating between your team, who can do things that others people can't, who finds value and who doesn't in different tasks and jobs throughout the day. But I'm here to tell you that if you don't trust your team, you are never going to free yourself up. And if you don't trust your team, they're never going to take responsibility for the things that they could be doing better than you. My call to action to other dentists that are burnt out or just feel like they're not really giving their best day in and day out is just to give yourself permission. It's okay to want a career or want a lifestyle what you want. If you feel like you are uniquely good at something and you want to double down on that, then you should really figure out what it is that you're uniquely good at. If you have something that drains you, causes you stress, you're constantly procrastinating, write that down. Make a list of things that you feel you are really providing wonderful value at, and things that are just a constant drain and you hate doing, and see what you can give up. By giving things up that drain you, you have more time to dedicate towards the things that you provide immense value on. This will be one of the biggest growth factors that you do in your business by doubling down on what you love and getting rid of what you don't. If you're a dentist and you found value out of this video and you watched to the end, stay tuned. We're going to be putting out more videos in the weeks to come.